Hey Thrivers, and hey Anastasia peeps. For those of you who have read the Anastasia books, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know where you're watching in from. I just got off a really beautiful call. There's regular calls with Anastasia community that is building over in America, but it's open to people all around the world speaking English, because obviously the Anastasia books originated in Russia, and there is a massive Russia community, but a lot of us don't speak Russian, and so it's really good to see this amazing community being grown. And so there's a new platform coming and all this kind of thing. Gabrielle, I'm going to put a link down to their YouTube channel as well as their website, so make sure you go and check it out. But I just wanted to, I've done some videos before on Anastasia, especially what I call the living supplement garden, which is a way she builds a garden that helps you heal yourself. So again, I'll put a link down to that. But today I just wanted to show you, I'm going to take you over to the land and I'm going to show you my vision of my kin's domain. And one of the topics that came up today was about, there's this sort of, because there's the vision she creates in her book, and then there's also our modern lives, right? And so on the spectrum, each of us in the Anastasia community have a mission. We're all being called in different areas. And for me, it's sharing the idea of the living supplement garden, or a garden that heals you. For you to create a lifestyle that melds in with the modern and creates that kin domain. So let me take you over to the land and show you the vision I have for my kin's domain. For those of you who don't know what a kin's domain is, I'll tell you over there. So let's go. All right, before we go into the kin's domain, just a quick warning. If you are watching the vlog and watching the each by week me growing and building my kin's domain, then this video is going to be a sneak peek into the future of where I am right now at this current moment. So there's a few things that you haven't seen being built yet. If you don't want to get ahead and see what's happening, then don't watch the rest of this video and just keep watching the vlogs that are numbered. But if you want to see, oh, where is it going to go to? There's lots of stories and journeys that happen along the way, but this will be a sneak peek to where it's heading and where I'm up to. So what is a kin's domain? For all my Anastasia lovers, I know you know what this is. For those who are watching who've never heard of Anastasia or her books, the kin's domain is a space that you grow your own food, that you create an abundance with nature, an interconnected relationship with nature. It's where you have your house, and there's certain elements like a living fence around your property. You've got your own veggie garden, you've got a bit of a forest, you're growing a little bit of greens. You have this possibility of self-sustainability, as well as an abundance that will naturally grow through nature that you can give out to your community. It's your direct connection to nature. It's your kin's domain. So the idea of kin's domain is you're growing it so that your children and their children's children can live here. And so you're setting up this amazing future for your family. So for me, I'm here in Bali, as most of you already know who've been watching the journey. And this land spoke to me because it looked like the kin's domain size that Anastasia recommends is about 2.5 acres, or 10,000 square meters, I believe is what she says. This property here, so as you know, I have a small property at the moment, but it's on a bigger piece that I will be getting next year. And that bigger piece is on 14,000 square meters. And so I was like, this is perfect to create my kin's domain and have people come and visit and see what it is. So all your Anastasia people, one day I hope to see you here visiting and seeing a tropical Bali kin's domain. So I thought what I'd do today is share my vision. I'm still on this journey. It's still unfolding before my very eyes. I'm falling forward at every moment. I've done a permaculture design course. I've done a syntropic agroforestry course, but that's all theory and it's all great to learn. But when you start putting into practice and start being the one that's interpreting what nature wants, that's exciting and challenging, and it's inevitable that I will make mistakes. And that's why I'm sharing it with you, so you can see me make mistakes, but also maybe you'll see something happen and you're like, hey, have you thought about this? Because that might happen. So yeah, let's have a look around and I'll show you the vision. I haven't done sort of a farm tour vision-wise. As you know, there's not too much here, but let me take you from the entrance into the vision I want to share as it unfolds let's go do it. Okay, so I'm at the top of the road here. Just up there is the entrance to the rainforest, not very far. And so as you can see, here is that driveway that I built. I'll put a link to the episode of me building the driveway. Let me turn this around. This driveway has grown so much. That pinto peanut, I planted it just like each little stick, so I was like, I think it's gonna die, it's not gonna go. And you'll see it's absolutely lush and beautiful. And so here I plan on putting the sign, the Thriving with Nature Farm sign, and that's what I call it. I just believe if we learn to become thriving with nature, then we've won, and we're just a ripple effect of what we can influence around us. So the vision here, the neighbour's dog's barking. The vision here is up this top corner there's going to be water, because water, that's where one of my main sources of water comes from, the top there from the rainforest. I want a bigger water tank. I've got a smaller one on the land that I will mostly reside in. But up here I see this with being regenerative agriculture, syntropic agroforestry. Being a leading example of how you can grow so many different crops, gain profits, improve the soil, all without chemicals. So that is the initial goal of this top area. All right, so as we walk around, I might give you a little look. So there's the entrance. Right now there's a lot of salak, which is snake fruit. We've got a couple of bananas in there. We have coffee trees. There's durian trees. It is quite lush. I'm just gonna show you. Here's the pinto peanut. Coconuts, cacao, all sorts of things. So when I envisage this, I actually see just at the top of the road there a compost exchange area. An area where, because I'm currently studying with Dr. Elaine Ingham, her foundational soil course. I'm going to put a link to that, because if you're interested in growing food that really is so much flavors, ergo is highly nutritious, the first place and the only place you need to start is the soil. Maybe not the only, but the first place you need to start is the soil. And it is key to all the success of the plants. And so definitely, if you're interested, check that out. But up there, I want to create her amazing BioComplete soil. Her BioComplete soil has all the ingredients that intelligent plant that we know through Anastasia books can reach and find the information like it needs to grow the substances you need to have a healthy body. So I'll put a link to the Living Supplement Garden, which I've talked about. So I see a BioComplete compost exchange because I want to start to give options of the farmers how they can look at their soil, and then I can say this is missing, take some BioComplete soil, this will help you, and make it more of an exchange. I mean, the farmers up here are by no means lush, lush to me in nature, but on the western side of things, the farmers actually look down on here in actual fact. A farmer is out in the sun all the time, and their skin gets really dark. And in the culture here, it represents poor. If you're a darker skinned person, you're poor because you're out in the fields. That's why you'll see in a lot of Indonesia culture, everyone's trying to bleach their skin because it means you're more wealthy, and it's trying to represent whites. It's a really interesting thing that I find bizarre, but it's really, I hope to shift and change that. So that's part of this. I want to inspire what is possible. But first, to do that, I have to prove it myself. So part of my kin's domain is just to be a living example of how to thrive with nature. Now, for those, I love the idea of plants and medicine. I was just on a call, as I said. Now, Cheryl, if you're watching, I'm talking to you. Just down here, one of the most amazing plants for healing and health is ginkgo biloba. I think if you look at ginkgo biloba on anywhere, it says how the health benefits. I found out that I have it growing on my land as a weed. Let me show you. Look at this. There it is. See this? This plant, I believe, is really amazing. And Cheryl, if you are watching, pop down what you think, what you know of. She's an amazing horticulturist. Ginkgo biloba is good for. But to pick it straight from the ground and nibble on it, it's absolutely amazing. So inspiring people to come, like if you're watching this, I'm hoping one day you come to visit and you have a farm experience stay here at Thriving with Nature Farm. what else? I do picture a beautiful pond here. I have two main water sources, rain, and it rains a lot. And a lot of people laugh at me when I have a hose put in and a tap put in, because it just rains so much. They don't need to water their gardens. But they have told me they've had 6 months without rain before, so much so that the rainforest water access that all of our villages have access to dried up a bit and people had to bring water in. So I want to make sure I'm prepared, that I'm collecting those two sources in as many ways as possible. Part of permaculture is you're storing that water as much as you can. And so I'm going to have a fish pond over near where the water tank is to help catch the extra water there. But also I'd like a bigger pond that's not just for benefits, but it's to bring more biodiversity into here. I want more bird life, more fish life. I'm sure it'll bring snakes. I've just got to be careful of that because there's some highly venomous snakes around here. I used to think Bali didn't have any. Yeah, so a pond. I see a pond up here somewhere as a secondary, thirdary source of water. So let's walk down. So now we're down at the car park, and we've actually just crossed the current threshold of this property. And so I just want to show you, for those of you who watch Anastasia, it's about building a living fence. And I'll put a link to the video that I've built this living fence. This isn't the one that has cedar trees, and it's by far not the one that I see having at the end, but you can see this is glitter city, or gamal they call it here, and there's a whole line of them, and they've started growing. It's a living fence to help create that boundary here. And so here in this car park down that way will be where the farmhouse, at the moment there's going to be tents and a place where we can do education down there. I'll show you in a minute. Here is going to be a what I think at the current moment is a food forest with chickens inside, and there's going to be a rotationary process so that I can make sure that food forest benefits from the chickens and the chickens benefit from the food forest. Up here is looking like it's going to be the nursery, which is super exciting, so hopefully that's going to be happening soon. So this will be my office soon. Then if we have a look over here, we've got the compost area, which I will be improving as I go. At the moment it's not as perfect. Here is where the future pond will be with the overflow of water that's already happening. And this, my friends, is where the water tanks will, but this will be covered in beautiful passion fruit vines. That is the goal, but it looks amazing. I'm super excited to have this. Very exciting. Down here, I'm thinking of a fish pond, but also there's going to be a water access from here. So sometimes I'll use the overflow that will flow down into the vegetable garden. Now right here, you'll see, at the moment I have a pumpkin growing, just because it was growing out of my worm farm, and I didn't want it to go to waste. So I thought while I'm waiting and still doing, I'll have it grow there. But I think I'm going to have my living supplement garden. So yeah, I think I'm going to have my living supplement garden right here. So the garden that heals you, I read that excerpt there's a playlist called the Living Supplement Garden. Make sure you go and watch that, and I show you how to do that. I see, even though the house will be over there, I see in the morning I come in, I'll have a dip inside that fish pond, and then I'll come and shake myself over where I've planted these seeds and these certain vegetables purely for me, and really protect this, because I need to teach and train that garden is the one that's really intimately connected with me. And so that's where I'm sort of seeing it, because I see that I can go in here, sunbathe near my veggie gardens, and also come here. So stepping over the pumpkin, we come to a clearing that has happened, which was quite disturbing and hard to do, just to come in and clear. But this is where the veggie gardens will be. It's currently just growing over, and I'm observing here. That will be the edge of that food forest that I said. Down here you can see I've got pineapples growing. They take so long to grow, and I've just been planting them as I eat them. You can see some pineapples along here. But this is going to have rows of veggie gardens. That's the goal. And so behind me here, where like the veggie gardens I'm standing in, and then behind me, as I said, is the food forest. I'm also planning on having some bees there. I need to find out exactly if that's a good spot for them. And then I want to plant a highly biodiverse range of flowers and plants that also attract the insects, because I don't need to improve on nature. I just need to give nature exactly what it needs. And so that's what I'm here to do. And I want to provide as much biodiversity in here, because from there, the soil, the animals, the insects, they're the ones that are going to grow my garden for me. So I just want to be the guardian and do all that. So I'll just take you down to where I see the farmhouse eventually being, but right now it's going to be temporary, where I have some tents for people to come and do some farm experiences as we grow and build together. So some of you could come along and actually join one of these farm experiences. Just get to know, get to connect. And so the Kin's Domain, it's having all these elements, creating as much as a self-sustaining thing you can, but part of Anastasia is you're building this in communities. And so I'm hoping I'm inspiring. I have Pak Wiwin who helps me, as you know. He's an amazing guy, and he's really open and really passionate about nature and wants to learn everything. And so I plan on hopefully inspiring him. And I said to him, you know, if you love it and you want to teach, I hope the farmers come and ask, and we can do some free courses and teach them that. So I've just walked out onto the entrance. 1 second. So you can see Bali and the ocean, that dark land there, and that line is the coast of Bali. At night time it's just glistening with lights down there. And then here is a clearing where I plan on having some tents, a campfire in the middle, and where you can come and stay and just enjoy. But eventually, this is where there'll be a farmhouse where, when I can, build that up. And I plan on living there and having accommodation for volunteers, for people who want to come and experience this life. And just look over the palm trees of Bali. It's just super, super exciting. So that's my Kin's Domain, and it's on its way. There's lots of other elements, and I'm sure I'm not sharing everything because my brain is just whizzing at 1,000 miles an hour. So there you go, there's a little sneak peek of my Kin's Domain. I kind of whisked you around just then, and I hope I didn't make you dizzy, but I was trying to show you all the ideas, and that's just the tip of the iceberg of what I see the vision is. But my goal is to create a beacon of light of life, of an intimate connection with nature, and show you how you can live your life and how you can be more connected to it. You don't have to come out to the jungles of Bali like I am. You can have this intimate connection with pot plants and all sorts of things. Nature is nature, and it doesn't matter where it is. It has this innate intelligence that can help heal you, that can help connect. Cheryl in the call is a horticulturist and was talking about how there's already been so much studies. People know that nature can help heal you, as I think most of us know that now. But there's an extra bit of je ne sais quoi that I think we're missing as humans at the moment. And I hope to help illustrate that. I don't know how. I hope I do a good job. And I hope you join me along the way. So if you're keen on growing your Anastasia journey or your Kin's Domain, please join me. Make sure you hit subscribe to join me on this journey. And I'd love to hear about you and your journey. Reach out to me at on the website thrivingwithnature.com, or just comment below. So thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. This was a short but sweet, but it was to reach out to those Anastasia lovers. And yeah, check out the Anastasia books. If you have this connection with nature and you haven't read Anastasia, I think your mind will be blown. All right, take care. Bye for now.